Shohei Ohtani's 2025 season has left baseball fans across the world puzzled, intrigued, and even worried. The two-way superstar, who once seemed untouchable both at the plate and on the mound, suddenly found himself in the middle of a slump. The question that echoed through every baseball broadcast, social media platform, and sports headline was simple yet deeply emotional: why is Shohei Ohtani struggling? At first glance, the answer might appear to lie in statistics: lower batting averages, fewer home runs, and a drop in his slugging percentage. But when analysts and experts looked closer, they discovered something much deeper. It wasn't just about mechanics or bad luck. It was about the psychological, physical, and situational factors that even the greatest athletes face when the pressure becomes immense. To understand Ohtani's struggle, we have to rewind a bit. After an incredible 2023 and a partially missed 2024 season due to recovery and adjustments with the Dodgers, expectations were astronomical. Every game, every at-bat, and every swing carried the weight of global attention. Ohtani wasn't just representing the Dodgers, he was representing baseball itself. The first signs of trouble came quietly. A few missed pitches, a few frustrated glances toward the dugout, and a noticeable change in his batting stance. What once seemed fluid and instinctive now looked slightly mechanical, as if Ohtani was thinking too much instead of simply reacting. One MLB hitting coach anonymously remarked, "When Ohtani steps into the box, he's carrying not just the bat, but the burden of being perfect." And that's exactly what fans began to notice: he wasn't playing free anymore. Baseball, as simple as it looks, is a mental game more than anything. When confidence dips, mechanics follow. Experts pointed out that Ohtani's swing timing was just a fraction off, but the tiny fraction made all the difference in the world. The pitch recognition, once razor sharp, became cloudy. Fastballs that he used to crush were now fouled off or missed entirely. Another contributing factor was fatigue, both mental and physical. Ohtani has been under a microscope since his teenage years. The pressure of being Japan's greatest baseball export, combined with the responsibilities of carrying an MLB franchise, creates an invisible exhaustion that no amount of rest can truly heal. By mid-season, his performance at the plate reflected that. The numbers told a story, but the emotion on his face told another. There were fewer smiles, fewer fist pumps, and more moments of silent frustration. Ohtani's competitive spirit, which normally fuels him, seemed to be weighing him down. Pitchers across the league also began to adjust. After years of studying his tendencies, they found ways to attack his weaknesses. They pitched him low and away more frequently, tempting him with breaking balls that used to be his bread and butter. Ohtani, eager to break out of the slump, often chased those pitches, feeding into the trap. A former teammate commented, "When you see Shohei swinging at pitches he used to ignore, you know something's off mentally." And that was precisely the issue: he wasn't trusting his instincts. But it wasn't just mental or mechanical. Some insiders speculated that Ohtani's body was still adapting post-surgery and off-season training changes. Even a minor alteration in muscle balance or flexibility can throw off timing at the elite level. A split-second delay in swing path can turn a home run into a weak grounder. Adding to this, his transition to a new environment with the Dodgers wasn't as seamless as it appeared. The pressure of justifying his record-breaking contract and living up to the "face of MLB" image created an emotional storm. Japanese sports psychologist Dr. Sato noted, "For an athlete like Ohtani, who measures himself by performance alone, a slump becomes an identity crisis." Those words resonate deeply. It's not just about missing hits, it's about questioning who he is when he doesn't succeed. Fans in Los Angeles began noticing his quieter demeanor during interviews. His usual composed smile turned into polite nods and short answers. While he never complained, it was clear that the internal battle was raging. And then there's the cultural aspect. In Japan, humility and perseverance are core values. Ohtani has always embodied these principles, often avoiding any outward signs of frustration. But in doing so, he may have internalized the stress even more, unable to release it outwardly as some Western players might. As the slump deepened, fans started speculating: was it the pressure, the injury recovery, or just a natural dip that every great player eventually faces? Experts across baseball agreed on one thing: Ohtani's swing hadn't vanished, it had just lost its rhythm. Rhythm in baseball is like heartbeat in life. When it falters, everything else follows. Ohtani's timing at the plate mirrored his internal struggle: hesitant, cautious, searching. Hitting coaches tried adjusting his stance, changing his pre-pitch routine, even altering his bat angle slightly. None of it seemed to bring back that effortless magic that made him a global icon. Meanwhile, the media narrative grew louder. Headlines questioned his worth, his focus, even his long-term future. Each article, each social media post, was like a tiny cut to his confidence. Still, Ohtani never lashed out. He continued showing up early for batting practice, working relentlessly behind the scenes. Coaches said he was the last to leave the field, often spending extra hours reviewing footage of every swing and miss. What made this slump so fascinating was how uncharacteristic it was for him. Shohei Ohtani has built his reputation on defying limits, hitting when others said he couldn't, pitching when experts doubted him. Now, the same resilience was being tested in a new way. Former players empathized deeply. Every great hitter goes through it, said one veteran. But for Ohtani, it's magnified 1,000 times. Because the world expects him to be perfect. The slump, in a strange way, revealed Ohtani's humanity. It reminded fans that beneath the superhuman stats and highlight reels, he is still a man, subject to fatigue, doubt, and the endless weight of expectation. Some analysts even suggested that the problem wasn't failure, but success. Ohtani had set the bar so impossibly high that anything less than greatness felt like failure, both to him and to the world watching. But there's another side to this story, one of quiet redemption. Those close to him have said that Ohtani sees every struggle as a form of learning. His patience, discipline, and self-awareness are unmatched. In private batting sessions, he reportedly focused not just on power but on rediscovering the feel of the game, the rhythm, the joy, the instinct. Slowly, signs of his comeback began to emerge. Line drives found gaps, his confidence returned, and the trademark Ohtani smile started showing again. Experts now believe that this slump might be the defining chapter of his career, not because of the struggle itself, but because of how he overcame it. For fans, it was a rare glimpse into the soul of a superstar. For Ohtani, it was a test of everything he stood for: humility, perseverance, and love for the game. As one commentator beautifully put it, even when he fails, Ohtani teaches us something about grace. And perhaps that's the truth of this entire season. It's not about why he struggled, but how he faced it, with quiet strength and unwavering belief. Every slump ends eventually. For Ohtani, it's not a matter of if, but when. And when that comeback swing finally connects, the sound of that bat meeting the ball will echo far beyond the stadium, reminding the world why Shohei Ohtani is more than a player. He's a story of human resilience written in baseball's most beautiful language.